Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a pretty big game to jump into. From $10 structure decks to $1,000+ World Championship decks, there's a lot of options on what people can use. This challenge, make a deck using only Konami official products and try to climb my way to top a YCS event. And now presenting Build from Nothing.
Okay, so take two for this. I had to scrap everything else because there was excessive cursing, and I'm going to try and steer away from that. However, I have opened three, and I no longer have it here, so I'll throw up just a deck list, probably like right here, of what comes in the structure deck. However, I have gone and built the first iteration of many. So within $40, I got three of the Pendulum Dominant structure deck, as well as these yellow Eclipse card sleeves, which are on both the main deck and the extra deck, which won't get confusing ever. However, this is the deck I have right now. 3 Lamia, which is just a free special summon of itself, which is very nice, kind of helps get plays going. Level 1 tuner can help us get out our 1 synchro monster in the extra deck right now, which we will get to later. I'm starting off with the non-pendulum monsters, so 3 Night Howl. Sorry for the glare, it's not the greatest, but yeah, there it is. You know, if you draw it and Lamia with another DDD or DD, special summon Lamia by discarding, normal summon Night Howl, bring out the third monster in the graveyard, and kind of go off from there. 3 Lilith. Yeah, this just adds DD monsters from graveyard or extra deck back to your hand. Kind of good for recurring plays, especially once Master Rule 5 comes out and I start getting the slimes onto the pendulum monsters. 3 Oblivion King Abyss Ragnarok. Pretty good scale 5. You want to get out all of your like level 8s, and you know, when we get to the other synchro monsters later, we'll see that. And then if you have a DDD monster in your graveyard and you special summon this, you can special summon the one in your graveyard and then just kind of go off on more plays, especially if you have another rank 8 or level 8 in your graveyard. For 3 Savant Newton, as of right now, this is only in here for the pendulum scale. That's quite literally it. Scale 10 helps us pendulum summon some other DDs. Speaking of, scale 1 Savant Copernicus. Yet again, only here for the pendulum scale. No other use really as of right now. 3 Cerberus. This is really just kind of to help get out the rank 4 Xyz monster, and then with it and another level 4 tuner that is somewhere in the deck. Yeah, we're getting to it soon. You can make our 1 synchro monster pretty easily. 3 Doom King Armageddon, level 8 and is just badass with, you know, 3,000 attack, 1,000 defense. Not the greatest effects ever, but big beat stick can help us get things out. Now for some more shiny cards. 3 DD Orthros. This is our level 4 tuner. Helps us this with Cerberus. Helps us get out our level 8 synchro monster. Pretty good pendulum scale effect. Pop 1 other DD or dark contract to pop a spell or trap on the field. So decent back row removal if you need to get rid of some dark contracts. And then 3 Chaos King Apocalypse. These are level 7, so they kind of work with Lamia in getting out, again, our synchro. Our synchro is kind of the biggest monster we want to get out right now. And this is going to be a Master Rule 5 or Master Rule April 2020 kind of deck, but that's why it doesn't work as of right now. And when I jump cut to the duels I'll be recording with this, you'll see how just bad this is. Anyways, Chaos King Apocalypse looks awesome, but not the greatest thing. We'll be using this to get into other monsters. And now onto the spells. 2 Dark Contract with the Gate. This just helps get DD cards from the deck into your hand. Very nice for that. And we got 2 Dark Contract with the Swamp King. This is just fusion summoning out the wazoo. Of course, all Dark Contracts have the added effect of, during the standby phase, take 1,000 damage. So you got to be careful about that. You know, that's why DD, what was it, Orthros? Yeah, DD Orthros. That's why DD Orthros is fun to have, because you can get rid of your Dark Contracts to pop other spells and traps on the field, and if need to, use it to pop 2 Dark Contracts you have, just kind of, because these have good effects, but you don't want to kill yourself, essentially. Dark Contract with the Nyhmnim. There we go. This just takes cards from the extra deck or the graveyard and places them back in your pendulum zone. So, you know, if you need another Orthros, you can use this, get it back. And its effect is once per turn. It's a soft once per turn. So you can use its effect, pop it, use Dark Contract with the Nyhmnim, bring it back, use its effect again if possible. And yeah. Then 2 Allure of Darkness. You know, everything in here is a dark monster, and with so little spells, if you're using this with no monsters in your hand already, you're almost guaranteed to draw a monster, and then if you don't, you just weren't meant to win that duel. 1 copy of Fool's Burial to help get stuff in the graveyard, because you kind of want stuff there. And then 1 Emergency Provisions, because if we can, you know, get rid of our spells and traps and gain life points back, it gives us kind of more workaround for the other Dark Contracts to work in our deck. But kind of very, very, very like alpha stage deck here. And again, when we cut to the other duels, you will see how bad it actually is. Now, to move on to the extra deck. 3 Dragonbane King Beowulf. A very wonderful card. Also a 3,000 attack, 2,500 defense. Piercing battle damage, and every time during your standby phase, destroy all cards in the spell and trap zone. So field spells are good. Everything else is kind of not looking so hot, Chief. So this is a good one to go into. You know, if we can go into any extra deck monster, we're going to want to go into the Synchro. But if we can't, and we have this available to us, we're going to go for it. Think of the Synchro, the one I've been mentioning the entire video. DD Curse King Siegfried. Absolutely fantastic. It is during either player's turn, you can target a face-up spell or trap on the field and negate its effects until the next standby phase. So you can do this with your own Dark Contracts. You could do this with any spell or trap on the field, which is very useful. And then if it's destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can gain 1,000 life points for each Dark Contract you control. So you're about to pay 1,000 for each of them. If this is destroyed during your opponent's turn, gain 1,000. Essentially, a zero sum game, whatever it's called. And then finally, because the structure deck comes with 1 fusion, 1 synchro, and 1 Xyz, the Xyz monster we have is DDD Wave King Caesar. Even before I really got into like link summoning and everything, back when I had my old DDD deck, I have never touched this card, never used it. So I am excited to try it out. During either player's turn. Let me actually. Yikes. During either player's turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card at the end of the battle phase. Special summon from your graveyard as many monsters destroyed this turn as possible. But during the next standby phase, take 1,000 damage for each monster special summoned by this effect. Okay. Cool. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add 1 Dark Contract card from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effect once per turn. That is a hard once per turn too. So yeah, that is the current deck. Yeah, I can't imagine we'll be keeping Wave King Caesar around for long, but as this is a sealed only challenge, we kind of have to work with what we have right now. And getting all 3 structure decks and the card sleeves kind of hit the $40 per week maximum. So that is the deck, and now we will be jumping to some duels to see how it works. So, okay, yeah, here we are with the Danger Thunder Dragon duel. Yeah, this is being piloted by my friend who runs Heroes and has never touched and never used my Danger Thunder Dragon deck. So we'll, see how it goes. I sped it up because I'm still new to the whole video editing thing. This is all new, very, very new territory to me. Starts off with a Danger Nessie. I snipe his Chaos Dragon Levianeer. Then Melody of Awakening Dragons to discard Dragon Hawk to add Darkest Diabolos, Lord of the Lair, and a second copy of Chaos Dragon Levianeer back. It's something that I cut around a lot in here because it's just it was a really long video, and I didn't want this to come out as like 45 minutes long, which in hindsight is probably not the best idea, but whatever, we'll figure everything out soon. So yeah, then gets out Phantom Skyblaster, gets the tokens, uses 3 things to go into Unicorn. I move everything around. He's still figuring things out, yep. Gets rid of one of the tokens. Uses Dragon Roar to get, Dragon Hawk back to his hand. Then use Dragon Hawk to get Dragon Roar out. Again, this was being piloted by someone who's never used Thunder Dragon or Danger cards before. So, there's probably some things that he missed that I just didn't catch, but this is so much more to test the deck and see where our starting point is, and so much less about winning and having a competitive duel. He gets into Unicorn and Dragon Roar. I end up with Night Howl and Chaos King Apocalypse, who I then use Swamp King to fusion into Dragon Bane. Use Lamia to discard Night Howl to special summon itself. Dragon Bane attacked Unicorn. We go into the turn and everything. He Danger Thunder Dragons. Thunder Dragon Fusion gets out Titan. Pretty generic play for a Danger Thunder Dragon deck. And of course probably even more so for someone who's never used it before. Anyways, so he gets everything, he attacks, he destroys me. Yep, that was an awkward looking cut. I'm so sorry. I take 1,000 from Dark Contract with the Swamp King because that's how this deck runs currently. I use Lilith, normal summon, to add Copernicus back to my hand, or to add the Chaos King Apocalypse back to my hand. Use a Copernicus and in hand and an Orthros on the field for the Pendulum Scale. Destroy both of them to special summon Chaos King. Destroy a monster. Destroy Dragon Roar. Dragon Roar special summons Thunder Dragon during the end phase. Grabs Thunder Dragon back. Look through his graveyard. Yeah, and just kind of continues to pop off as Danger Thunder Dragon normally does. Banishes 3 for that sweet, sweet Chaos Dragon Levianeer. I think he missed some effects, or I could have just not reminded him of them, but oh well. Gets Black Dragon Collapse Serpent. Gets one more, I believe, here. Yeah, he gets out Thunder Dragon Hawk. It happens. Uses the Gold Sarcophagus on Thunder Dragon Fusion rather than a Thunder Dragon card for the effect, but he's never used the deck before, so he didn't know that was a thing. Yeah, back to my turn. Oblivion King, Abyss Ragnarok in the right pendulum zone. I normal DD Cerberus, I believe that is, and then it just kind of
doesn't go anywhere. Yeah, so he goes everything into Saryuja, gets out Thunder Dragon Titan. Yeah, it's just kind of good game from there. So this is not necessarily laid out in any specific order, just kind of grouped by threes. Hopefully it's in focus. If not, I'm still kind of learning all this. But what we've learned from the one duel we've done is that we need to do a lot of work. So I think the next step in the plan is to obtain 3 DD Swirl Slime, 3 DD Necro Slime, and a copy or 2 of DD Oracle King Dark, or DDD Oracle King Dark, and move on from there. So this is the first iteration of the deck. There will also be edits made between this week and the next week I do one of these, because this won't be a week by week by week thing. So this is the first iteration of the deck. We'll see where it leads to in time, but I would like to thank you all for joining me on the first step of the sealed only DDD deck challenge, and I hope to see you all very soon in the near future.